What's up, everybody? Back for another live Monday night beer review here on the Beer Patrol. And today I'm going to be reviewing two different beers from two different breweries. So I'm going to be doing two different videos. I'm going to review this beer, then shut down the live stream and start up another one for archiving purposes, because that's how I roll on the channel. I've done it a few times already. If this is the first time you're checking out a live beer review, I will be keeping my eye on the comment section. So if you want to chime in, and maybe you're drinking this beer, maybe you've had this beer before, maybe you just want to chat in general. So throw some comments over there and I'll definitely be reading and responding. And yeah, should be a good time. For those of you watching back on the replay, I typically post timestamps in the description box, but when I do two separate videos and I'm only reviewing one beer, makes no sense. So we're not going to do it. But anyway, really excited about today's beer because I've heard a lot of mixed things over the past about 8 months or so. So I want to get into it. So the beer I am reviewing today comes from New Holland Brewing, and they are out of Holland, Michigan. And this is their Dragon's Milk Reserve Banana Coconut. So this is what they're calling a bourbon barrel aged stout with real banana and natural flavors. Comes in at 11% alcohol by volume, 31 IBUs in the time of review. This beer is approximately, let's just say, right under 8 months old, because this was bottled on 8/31/18. Here we are at the end of April, so right around 8 months old, just a little bit under. So the base Dragon's Milk I have had numerous times, and to me, it's one of the, I was gonna say one of the most, but off the top of my head, I can only think of a couple beers that are readily available year-round bourbon barrel aged stouts, and the Dragon's Milk is definitely one of those. We just started getting New Holland about 1.5 years ago, and now that beer kind of just sits on the shelf, but I think it's a tasty beer. I know there's people out there that don't really care for it. There's people out there that, like me, love it and think it's a great beer, especially it's reasonably priced too. I want to say it's like $4 for a bottle of it, and like, you know, 14, 16 for a 4-pack. And I think that's a great price for 11% bourbon barrel aged stout. So when I saw this one, for obvious reasons, I wanted to pick it up. Being a coconut fiend, if you've never seen my channel before, you might not know that I love coconut. So when I saw coconut on this one, I was like, you know what? It's go time. But anyway, let's check comments real quick before we crack it open, see what's going on here. We have a bunch of people here. Let's see. We have 420. Christoph says, sup, Joe and Sons. What's up, Christoph? Earth shows up and says, cheers. What's up, Earth? Jeff No Jinx says, hello, Sons. What's up, Jeff? And then Sexton Brewing, Ashley says, cheers, Joe and watchers. I appreciate the no sons there, Ashley. And then Christoph comes with cheers, Sons. And then Christoph also says, damn, Joe, you losing weight. Yeah, I've been losing weight. I'm down almost 50 pounds, right around 50 pounds, actually, just like a half a pound under. So doing pretty good over the last, it's been what? Been like 10 and a half, almost 11 months. So yeah. Craig over at Kent Beer Review says, cheers, Joe. What's up, Craig? Thanks for stopping by. Jesse Bumpy Road Brewery says, I've had 2 New Holland brews before they left in New Hampshire shelves. Like them both. Which ones were those, Bumpy? I'd be curious to know, Jesse, what's up with that and why they pulled out. That's crazy. But anyway, this beer specifically, banana coconut. As I said, I love coconut. Now here's the issue. This is the one issue I'll take with this beer. The people I've seen review it, Kyle over at No Hype Beer Reviews, Brad Allison, along with his wife Jessica over at 31st Brewing. And it says, and I don't understand why it says this, but on the label it says it's a bourbon barrel aged stout with real banana. So they stress the real part of banana, real banana. And then it says, and natural flavors. Now, if we know anything about natural flavors, at least if I know anything about them, and I don't know much, I do know like the source of natural flavors has to come from a plant or an animal. But there are some really weird natural flavors out there and how they extract them from certain animals and certain plants. So the crazy thing to me is, okay, you're going to have a banana coconut bourbon barrel aged stout. Now, at the same time, you're stressing real banana, but then you're okay with using natural flavors for what I'd assume would be the coconut. So why not just use real banana and real coconut? Now, I know coconut can mess with the carbonation and the head retention and all that stuff because of the oils, but it's just weird that they didn't just put with banana and natural flavors instead of stressing real banana, and then they're using natural flavors, which are technically natural, but are they? Anyway, the only reason I mentioned that is I remember Kyle, he reviewed it like 3 or 4 months ago, and he talked about like how Omnipolo does great things with their natural flavoring, and they do. They really hit the nail on the head more times than not. But it's weird that they use natural flavors and not actual ingredients. I don't know, a little bit of just a spiel and just kind of a rant, but it's just interesting that they put the focus on real banana. It's weird to me. Drunken One shows up and says, good evening, sir. What's up, Drunken One, baby? Christoph says, I'm going to watch this with the little Sebastian pre-roll and a Heineken. Well, there you go. It's the way to do it. Jesse says Dragon's Milk and the IPA with the Space Invaders can art. So what do you think about Dragon's Milk, Jesse, if you liked it? I mean, I don't remember. Like I said, I don't know what everybody pays for it. I imagine Michigan's is a lot cheaper than most places because that's where it comes from. But at the same time, I still think I think it was like about $3.50, $4 a bottle. You're talking about 11%. Talking about 11% Imperial Stout. I mean, bourbon barrel aged, and a lot. There's a lot of different variants they have with the spirit too. Anyway, you can pour it because it's time to go. Now it's pouring out way lighter than I remember Dragon's Milk pouring out. Honestly, as like a dark brown. Probably going to come off as straight on black on the camera. I'm not sure. In the glass though, it's going to come off pitch black on camera. I know that. Almost positive it's going to be pitch black. But right now, what I'm seeing in real life, in person, that's a very dark brown. Had about a half finger of a tan head that dissipated to a thin film like so many barrel-aged beers do. But yeah, I mean, whatever. It's the appearance. Who cares? Let's get a nose on it. Yeah, so I pick up banana, and it smells like real banana. It actually smells like caramelized real bananas, like from all the malt goodness in this one, kind of like caramelized fried bananas, basically. Yeah, that banana's, wow, that's predominant note. I'm really not picking up on much else. Actually, I said caramelized bananas in this one. This is coming off more of like chocolate dip bananas now as I'm starting to smell a little bit less on the caramelized part. The barrel, though, in this one, now with regular Dragon's Milk, I definitely get the barrel, but the variants I've had of this, and off the top of my head, I can't remember, I think I had like a chocolate cherry one and a couple others. Usually the adjuncts in the beer kind of just, take over the beer. And I feel like that's the same in here. I feel like the banana's kind of just, destroying the rest of the beer. Like I'm getting, undercurrents of like the dark chocolate, sweeter dark chocolate, a little bit of that caramel, but like there's not much barrel. There's no vanilla, there's no oak, there's no spirit presence, and there's no coconut. So that natural flavor they're using to try to produce the coconut, nah, bro, nah. We have Jesse who says he loved Dragon's Milk, great Imperial Stout, about $16 for the 4-pack. Yeah, that's about the going rate, I feel, in most states. And Christoph says, looks chewy, Joe. Yeah, that's the thing. On camera, it probably looks chewy. In real life, like it looks a little thin, and it definitely doesn't have like a super dark, just like pitch black look to it. It's definitely darker brown. I mean, it's borderline black, but it's like a darker brown. Anyway, this smells like, honestly, if I was doing this blind, I would say, yes, there's banana without question. And I don't know if I would think there's actually real bananas in here because how many places use real bananas in any beer? Usually it's the yeast esters or the phenolics from the yeast and whatnot when it comes to like, German Hefeweizens and things like that. But yeah, it smells good. It smells very banana heavy, almost banana bread-esque. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. All right, so there's a lot of people out here who said they weren't happy with this beer. They weren't really, blown away by it or whatever. But this is fucking delicious. This is delicious. Holy shit, is this delicious. First off, the banana's in your face. So if you see this on the shelves, again, this is 8 months old. This came out the tail end of last summer. I think actually it might have been the beginning of fall. This might have showed up in September-ish. This might not be on the shelves, but if you do find a bottle just hanging out on shelves and you love banana, I can tell you right now, pick this up because this is banana forward through and through. So on the palate, the first thing I recognize is that this actually has a great mouthfeel to it. Soft, smooth, creamy. It's almost like they're using a shit ton of oats. I'd imagine the barrel kind of softened it up a bit. The carbonation probably died out too from being barrel aged as well. It's not necessarily undercarbonated, it just has a soft, smooth, creamy component to it. The body is lower side of full body, 11%. I'm a bit disappointed, but I kind of knew going into this that it was going to be like that. I feel the only real knock with Dragon's Milk, the base, is it is a bit thin for me. But, with a lot of barrel-aged beers, that happens because you barrel age them and it thins out. So, yeah, I mean, for the body and mouthfeel, fantastic on this beer. The taste, though, it's banana, a little bit more banana. Then you get hit with banana and then banana and more banana and banana. Because this does taste like real banana. It doesn't taste like a banana runt. Like, remember the candies, the runts? Doesn't taste like that. Doesn't taste synthetic at all. It tastes like authentic banana. You're getting underlying, or I should say, I'm getting underlying, like, it was sweeter dark chocolate in the nose. And the taste is more of like a bittering, like bittersweet, like baker's chocolate. There's a little bit of caramel and toffee midway through the palate. It finishes with a very nice dryness, and this does not finish overly sweet. I feel like there's dryness, there's oak tannins, and there's a little bit of like a residual sweetness. But I thought this one would be super sweet because of the natural flavoring, because of the banana, because it's 11% barrel-aged Imperial Stout. But it actually balances out quite nicely. Like I thought it would just be super sweet, and it's not. And man, that's a huge redeeming quality for me. We have Jeff, No Drink says it was $13.99 for a 4-pack in Michigan, which I would assume that was the case because this is from Holland, Michigan, and it's the home state. You're probably gonna get $1 or $2 less. And listen, $14 for a 4-pack of this at 11%. Considering the adjuncts in here, considering the barrel aging, you can't really beat that in this day and age. I mean, that's a crazy good value. And he also says it is a banana bomb, and it is. It doesn't have necessarily the banana bread qualities I was getting right at the tail end of the aroma. It just has, it's kind of like that chocolate dipped banana character I was talking about originally, or like the caramelized banana, but not as sweet. The dark chocolate is just, it's lending a chocolate character without the sweetness that you'd expect. Jesse says, if a banana bomb goes off, do you still get hit by the peel? Now, this is where Jesse comes in with the hashtag dad jokes, and I love every second of them. But yeah, this is wow. This is surprising how good this is. I'm trying to think of who else reviewed it. Like I said, Brad, Kyle, and there was a lot of people on my Untappd checked it in. There was mixed reactions. A lot of people were disappointed. And here's the thing: am I disappointed that there's no coconut in this? Yes, because I love coconut. But knowing that they use natural flavors and that I've already watched reviews where people said the coconut wasn't as prominent. I think Eric over at Eric the Lions Fan also drank this one. I think he said he wanted more banana. I don't know. I can't remember when he reviewed that, but I feel like if you're drinking this now and you don't get enough banana, then I don't know what to say because there's so much banana in here. This has way more banana than even like the Wells Banana Bread beer does. And I feel like that Wells Banana Bread beer is the sweetness from the banana in that, and just the character overall is kind of synthetic. It doesn't feel like an authentic banana flavor. This one does. And that's because they put real banana on here, but we're totally going to use natural flavoring for the coconut. Here's the thing. I do wonder if the natural flavors, they were hoping that the barrel, like the coconut well, I get it. And I know a lot of other people get a perceived toasted coconut character from barrels. Firestone Walker for me over here, Parabola, that is a brewery that produces the straight on like toasted coconut barrel character. I wonder if they were hoping for that. Here's the thing I'll say about this. Not a lot of coconut, not a ton of barrel on the palate either. A little bit of soft spirit, a little bit of vanilla and like that oak tannin dryness. But if they labeled this an Imperial Banana Stout, I would say they hit the nail on the head. Jeff says, peel shrapnel everywhere, man. And then Bumpy says, was it a coconut rum barrel? No, you know what? Coconut rum would have, or actually just rum barrel, not even coconut, just a rum barrel would have probably been way better for this, considering the flavors that you get from rum in general. Coconut rum would have been even better, but just the flavors you get in a rum barrel, I think would work beautifully with this one. It's just like a tropical booze bomb. Or maybe even like a rye whiskey. Bring some kind of like rye, or even like just, well, the rye has a spiciness too, but like a spiciness to this would be really nice too, because it is full on banana. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about this. Like, this is fucking delicious. I don't know. I might be in the minority. I don't remember anybody like going gaga over this. I'm not really going gaga. I think it's a fucking great beer. So Dragon's Milk Reserve, the banana coconut variant, the 2018 vintage, so to speak. I don't think they're probably ever going to release this again. From New Holland Brewing, I'm going to give that a 4.5 out of 5. It's fucking delicious. It's great. It's a great banana beer. I think because we don't have that many banana beers out there, most of the banana beers I see are like smaller or hype breweries that do, basically can only or bottle only releases, and they'll be like, oh, we use fucking shit tons of banana and whatnot. You don't usually see them commercially available. So the fact that they put a beer with banana out there on the market for everywhere they distribute, and it was easily accessible. I think I paid $4.50 for this bottle, maybe $4.50. It's well worth it. What else we got? We got Todd. My buddy Todd, he says, cheers, Joe. I didn't get a lot of coconut in this. No, me either. I almost got none, Todd. So it's disappointing from that aspect, but it's delicious. Eric Gilbert shows up and says, cheers, fools. Now I think he's talking about everybody in the chat. So settle down, Eric, but I am a fool. And then Christoph says, cheers to Eric. Yeah. So This is a great beer. Like I said, you see this on the shelves, pick it up. You can. I'm not to say you're ever going to be let down by a New Holland Dragon's Milk or one of their variants, but they always bring something new to the table. I didn't pick up the orange chocolate that they released in the last couple months, just because I don't know. I don't know why I did. Did anyone else out there have the orange chocolate? I feel like I don't know. I feel like they would. I don't know if that would be a great beer for them. I don't know how orange chocolate would work. I mean, I have the orange chocolate or chocolate orange Bourbon County. And I don't even know how to feel about that. I love orange chocolate, so I have no idea. Jeff says at Todd, me neither, zero coconut. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the prevailing thought on this beer. Nobody got coconut. And I think that's where maybe a lot of disappointing people came to the forefront, like, hey, you're advertising banana coconut and there's no coconut in here. I always say, like, if I had to base this on what they say on the label, this is like a 3.5, 3.75. But the fact that I love this beer, like just personal opinions, 4.5. And Todd also says some of the last few variants have been underwhelming. And he directed that Jeff, but in general, that's what he's mentioning. Yeah, it's good beer. Damn good beer. I enjoy it. So Jeff says he just drank the new Raspberry Dragon's Milk and loved it. Did you have the chocolate cherry one, Jeff, that they did a couple years ago? I still have that in my cellar. But Todd says he always looks forward to them. And that's the one thing I can say about New Holland. When they do come out, more often than not, I do look forward to their variants, especially now that I can get them in Western New York. Jesus. Dirt bike out there. Todd says he hasn't had the orange chocolate one. Jesse says Banana Republic Company. Jesus Christ. Jesse, hashtag dad jokes, bro. Anyway, got 9 people watching. I appreciate each and every one of you checking it out. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Banana coconut, Dragon's Milk Reserve, New Holland. If you do see it, grab it. So the next review I'm going to do upcoming, I'm going to, like I said, click off this video, start a new one. I wish there was an easy way to do it, but you're only allowed so many characters in the title, so I can't really put all this in and fit it how I do it, so whatever. But I am going to do the 30th anniversary of Bell's Cherry Stout. So it's the Cherry Stout Reserve. This one is just under 1 year old. Now, this is another one. The reason why I did both of these is I didn't even mention this review, but I'm in the middle of barrel-aged Michigan wheat, courtesy of basically Jeff No Jinx in the chat right now. He hooked me up with a bunch of awesome barrel-aged Michigan beers. So every review this week is a beer from him, except for these two. These are the only 2 beers this week that I'm not reviewing from him. But every beer that I'm reviewing this week comes courtesy of Jeff. They're all barrel-aged, except for one of them. One of them is not barrel-aged. One of them is the base of a barrel-aged variant that I'm doing a head-to-head. That'll be on Sunday. And yeah, so this entire week's barrel-aged week. The one thing about this 30th anniversary Cherry Stout Reserve, though, is it's American style brewed with cherries, and I believe they use oak chips. So cheating a little bit on this one, I guess. Just a little bit. Jeff says he had the chocolate cherry, and my wife loved it. I like it. So, Jeff, between you and your wife, you enjoy more like sweet beers. Does she enjoy them as sweet or less sweet? But yeah, so I'm going to shut this down momentarily. I'll probably give it a couple more minutes here in case anybody chat. And like I said, I'm going to start a chat up pretty much right away. I was going to wait to 8:30, but whatever. It's 8:20, 8:25. If you're here, follow me over in about 2 minutes, give or take, and we'll do the Bell's 30th Reserve. So I think I'm going to shut it down, and then you should see that live momentarily. He says, no, she hates sweet beers. There you go. That's what I figured out, Jeff. Figured out you love the sweet beers. She doesn't really hate, or she doesn't like the sweet beers. So I'm somewhere in between there. It all depends on the beer itself. But one last time, appreciate everybody stopping by. People in the comment section who have channels that you should check out Sexton Brewing, Ashley Sexton, good dude. Craig over at Kent Beer Reviews, Jesse over at Bumpy Road Brewery, Drunken One as well. Mostly homebrewers in here between Ashley, Jesse, and Drunken One. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. For everybody who watches back on the replay, like I said, 4.5 out of 5 on this one. And if you watch back the replay, you should be a replay of the Cherry Stout. So appreciate everybody stopping by. See you in a few minutes. Cheers.